So what is resilience? Resilience is a really important quality. It's the ability to adapt and to adjust ourselves as circumstances change. So when we face a difficulty, when we encounter an obstacle, when there's a setback in life, we're able to adapt and adjust. Because of course, this is a normal part of being human, is things change, unexpected things happen, things that we couldn't predict happen. And sometimes we just plain old fail and we need to bounce back. Being able to bounce back is the quality that we call resilience. The simplest way of explaining resilience in English, it means that we can bounce back. When we hit something hard, we bounce and we go forward. It's part of normal living as a human, that we encounter difficulties, that there are changes and setbacks that we didn't expect or that we couldn't predict. 2020 is a very good example of this. None of us could have expected what would happen in 2020. And resilience is the quality that enables us to adjust, to adapt, to find other ways of going forward. It's something very useful. Researchers and scientists have been studying resilience for many years now in many different fields, and they've found that it's something very useful. However, they don't all agree about what it is or what the specifics are. So if we look across all the different studies and all the different theories, we can pull out some common elements. And there are three common elements that appear in all of these theories. You can think about them as three pillars of resilience or three legs of a tripod. And I'm going to share those three legs with you now. The first leg of the resilience tripod is flexibility. Resilience is about being able to adapt, being able to adjust to changing realities, to different situations. Adaptation requires flexibility. And there are two kinds of flexibility. The first kind of flexibility is mental flexibility. Because as human beings, we have a lot of thinking, we have a lot of beliefs, we have a lot of expectations. Resilient people are mentally flexible. It means that they can shift their perspective when their old perspective doesn't help them anymore. When their old beliefs or old views are not useful or don't fit the situation or don't help them go forward, they can shift their own thinking, change their own expectations, their own perspective to adapt to a different situation. The second form of flexibility is behavioral flexibility. Many people, when they encounter a difficulty, just keep doing the same thing, but expecting a different result. That's not resilience. Resilient people, when they encounter a difficulty and they see that their behavior is not effective, they shift to a different behavior. They find a different solution, they find a different way of dealing with the situation. That's behavioral flexibility. Mental flexibility and behavioral flexibility enable people to adapt better, adapt more quickly. That's the first leg of the tripod of resilience. The second leg of the tripod of resilience is connectedness. This is our ability as human beings to derive strength and energy and hope from our connections with other people. Sometimes when we face difficulty, we have the tendency to withdraw, to disconnect, to want to isolate ourselves and get away. But resilient people use this as an opportunity to connect with others. To connect with others, to share our difficulty, maybe to ask for assistance or to receive help in some form. We all know from experience that when we share our burden feels lighter. You could say that even just being able to share our burden makes us stronger. This is the power of connection. Our connections give us strength when we need it the most. So our connections support our resilience. The third leg of the tripod of resilience is being able to make meaning or find purpose in difficulty. It's very human when we have a setback or a failure or when we encounter difficulties to sometimes start to feel that it doesn't make sense or there's no purpose, and then we start to lose hope. Resilient people are able to find the meaning in difficult events or focus on a purpose that has meaning for them. When we feel that an experience has meaning or purpose, this gives us hope, the hope to go forward, and it gives us determination, the energy to go forward. When we have those two things, nothing can stop us. So being able to make meaning in difficulty, to find purpose in difficulty, make us more resilient, more adaptable. So, how can we build our resilience? So when we understand that this is a tripod with 3 legs, we can easily start to build our resilience. Now, I teach a workshop with a curriculum of 2 days, but I'm going to give you in 2 minutes some ideas to build your resilience. So if the first leg of the tripod is flexibility, you can start to develop your flexibility by becoming more curious. When we cultivate curiosity, we are cultivating an open mind and a growth mindset. Instead of saying, oh, I know what this is, or I know the answers, we start to ask questions like, what is this? And do I know all the answers? Am I sure? Is there another way of looking at this? This is what happens when we cultivate curiosity. We cultivate openness, non-judgment, and flexibility. Curiosity is a very powerful tool for resilience. And if we understand that the second leg of the tripod is connectedness, then when we face difficulty, we make sure that we engage with our connections. When things are not going well, or if we feel the impulse to isolate, we notice that and we use that as an opportunity to engage, to reach out to our friends, reach out to the people we care about and who care about us, and share this difficulty with them. This will make us more resilient. When we engage with the people who support us, the people we care about, this makes us stronger and gives us strength. And if the third leg of the tripod of resilience is making meaning and defining purpose, we can start to practice these things as well. Because fundamentally, they do not come from outside of you. We make our own meaning, we can define our own purpose. So, you can practice this way. Every Sunday evening or every Monday morning, take 5 minutes to ask yourself, what is the meaning of my life this week? Of all these things I'm going to do between now and next Friday, what is the purpose for me of these things? If you've never done this before, you will find it difficult. Just like you go to the gym and you lift weights with a muscle you never used before, you will feel that that muscle is not developed yet. But as a human being, you have the ability to develop this muscle, and the more you work it, the more you will develop it. And then you will find that this meaning that you make, these purposes that you define, they will give you energy, they will give you motivation, they will give you hope. They will make you more resilient. So these are some simple steps that you can start taking to build your own resilience. Resilience is not foreign to you. Resilience is part of your heritage as a human being. All you have to do is water the seeds and it will grow. And it will become easier for you to adapt to difficulty, to adjust when you face difficulty, and go forward to live your life as best you can as a human being day by day.